Oh my God, Bitcoin, the crash is coming. Altcoins, alt season is absolutely canceled. That's what everybody's wondering right now. They're so fearful. There's so much anxiety with what's happening in this market. We're seeing signs on the Bitcoin chart that we may be getting a move to the downside. We're seeing signs on the altcoin charts that are just like, what the heck is going on? We got to talk about what these charts, what these signals are showing. In fact, we're going to take this countdown off because we're going to jump right on into it today. Everybody, let's go ahead and get this show retweeted. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. We're going to be getting right into this here in about 10 seconds. I just got to get this retweeted on my pages. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. And with that being said, everybody, if you're ready to get into this, see what these charts are saying, what do the signals say, throw a one in chat. If you are a resilient bull in all of this chop type bull, let's get it. I know I'm about to dump some more money in the market next week. I kind of hope the market continues to go down, but we're still bullish, so let's get into it. Oh, Bitcoin, crypto, altcoins, it just feels so frustrating, right? Is it over? Is it over, as we see on the thumbnail from today's stream? I don't think it's over, guys. I think this is that moment where so many people get wrecked and they're going to be punching themselves in the leg in the very near future, because when we're looking at everything going on in this market, it's like, oh my God, realize that we're still within the same range that we've been in since basically back here, November 22nd, after this move up after the election. Here's September, where's November, October, November, boom, right after the election, nice moonshot up here. But then look, consolidation. And remember, from this low back here in September, actually right here, it's 100% move to the top here. Having the price action trading a bit sideways right here is not the end of the world. In fact, it's still providing us opportunity if we allow it to be opportunity. So let's figure out what the hell the opportunity is here. And let's see what the data says. Not just my price isn't going the direction I want. If we're bullish on the money we can make in this market, then we should be jumping for joy that the price action is still giving us opportunities in the ranges that it's giving us these opportunities in. So diving back in here, we can see, boom, right here on, let's go down to the 1 hour chart. Bitcoin traveling in this falling channel. Well, we got a little deviation above, found support right on this line, and then broke down below it. Now we got a pretty big deviation below, right back up. Look, we confirmed these support and resistance levels just on these retests, both on this upper deviation and this lower deviation. But then we came back in, look, right back to that trend line, and we talked about the bullishness, the potential bullishness of this pulling back into this 382 here and this little hype right here. This was yesterday when everybody was excited about the press conference with David Sachs, the crypto and AI czar, and what they were going to announce. Everybody's just expecting every time they speak, or there's an indication that an executive order is going to get signed regarding crypto, everybody's like, it's going to be the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Let that nonsense go. It doesn't matter if they sign an executive order on strategic Bitcoin reserve or not. It is coming. We see the landscape of the US with the states all turning orange. And the landscape I'm talking about is how many different states out there have bills on the floor or in process to enact their own state level Bitcoin strategic reserves. And beyond that, what we're seeing on the global landscape is so damn bullish. And yet we're sitting here because they didn't say it in the press conference. Oh, it's a letdown. Let's go back down. In fact, I think this is more self-manipulation from us as retail, because we need it now. Who gives a shit what you need? You got to hear this. You got to realize this market is not here to be easy. If it was, every single person that even entered this market would be absolutely wealthy. The truth is, that can be the case for anybody that enters this market that doesn't get shaken out. Now, the question is going to get a little bit more, it's going to have a little bit more variety for those that are like very much in the more risky plays in the market. But the top cap coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, what we see, Cardano, XRP, BNB, these are all, I think, going to do very, very well in this cycle. What's happening right now is the expectation that we have this new crypto administration in, so all the money is going to pour in now. In fact, when we go back and think about the stablecoin regulation and some of the things they mentioned yesterday in that press conference, understand what that means. The fact that they didn't do a strategic Bitcoin reserve in the conference or in an executive order is irrelevant. They are laying the framework, they're laying the foundation and making sure all the ducks are in a row so that we can have the massive capital channels that are going to be accessed and provided from, especially when banks can start to provide Bitcoin and crypto products, lending products, DeFi, custody. Now, you may say that's not right. You should all self-custody. Not everybody's going to, and not everybody's going to be capable to. But the fact that we're starting to get the regulation and the framework in order for stablecoins is going to lay the framework for what's going to happen in the broader crypto ecosystem. This is bullish. And once you realize that, when you look at the price action, you go, it's not running away because most people in the market are ignorant. Most people in the market are impatient. Then this is saying, hey, you have a gift, you can buy lower. Hey, you have a gift, you can buy lower. Every stage that this goes down is another gift. Charles, $4.99. Always talking about Tima. He must be on the Tima promotional team. Well, shout out to you. I appreciate the super chat. But we're seeing this. We talked about this potential bullishness on Bitcoin pulling into the 382. The fact that this came back up, and look at this. We can do fibs at every level. Let's go from the candle bodies right there and look at where that pushed up into. Did you notice where that went? Look at this. Pushed right up into where the golden pocket, 0.618. Had a little move down, another rip right back up into the golden pocket and basically lost that. So what I'm seeing on that move, this move, I don't want to say is invalidated, but for the context, God dang it, for the context of what we're seeing here, this move here is invalidated from here to here because we've come up and we've lost it. And the reason why I say it's invalidated is because we've lost it, we've rejected, we had a little deviation above and have rejected again. I expect that barring some big shift, and remember, I spoke about this the other day, how bullish we are and the TA that's all here in the framework. But this is a very interesting market because the geopolitical landscape is in such a firestorm of news content that has major impact to the global finance, to global markets, to the strength of the dollar, to, the idea of certainty and uncertainty in markets. So it's like, yeah, we should be going up, but like, wait, we're taking over Gaza. Oh, we did it. It's like the markets are in a tizzy right now. For those of you that stay calm, you can take advantage of the confusion in these markets. It just takes patience, courage, and strategy. Otherwise, you are going to be taken advantage of in this market. Part of it's going to be some of these news stories. Part of it's going to be some of the price action that scares you. But the majority of it's going to be your emotional reactions that you actually make actions in this market emotionally rather than with strategy. So let's get into the data. We got some good things to look at today. And yeah, maybe it's not the bull that we want right now, but it's going to be the bull that we need in the long run. So let's be patient and continue going through this because it's not the end of the world. We're still up here at $3.2 trillion. Bitcoin's still hovering around that $2 trillion mark. And in fact, I actually have it somewhere right here, looking at where we're at on the grander scheme, the market value to realized value, the Z-score. This is indicating essentially the separation of the tradable price on exchange, that's the MV, market value, and the RV, which is realized value. That's taking every coin that's in circulation and what's the average price of the last time that coin moved. Now, what the hell does that mean? Well, some coins have been held for 10 years. So the last time they moved might have been at, $3,000, $700. Other coins have been traded over the last 6 months. Some coins have been traded within the last day. So you're getting all the coins in circulation. That's this blue line, the price the last time they were moved. So the reason why this is important is because with this on-chain data, we can see when we get these huge separations of this explosivity of price action that separates from the realized value of coins that have been, the average price of coins that have been sold, right? So look at how high these have gone. This tapped right barely into the red, but look, this went all the way through the red. This went all the way through the red, all the way through the red. This barely tapped the red back here. Point being is look how low we are. So, I mean, even to get just up into this would be a massive explosion in price action. massive explosion. So where we're seeing right now is just, I mean, look at where we were in February 2017. We're very reminiscent of this cycle right here. Although I do think there's a pretty good chance that this cycle will get drawn out beyond this 4-year cycle metric. And we'll talk more about that in a later stream. But the fact that institutions are getting the road cleared for them to really come in size. I'm not talking about ETFs. I'm talking about actively not only have Bitcoin on their treasury, but also actively build in products that they can do Bitcoin and crypto services for their millions and hundreds of millions of clients. In fact, then we also have the strategic Bitcoin reserves, state Bitcoin reserves, international Bitcoin reserves in different countries. I'm not sure we're going to get this massive 75 to 85% sell-off and this massive bear market like we've seen in previous cycles. I think we do have a chance that we have this super cycle in some regards to size where this just continues to stair step up, push up, very exciting, 7-month sideways. It's over, only to then go 100% growth, boom, up to where we're at now. Now we're trading a little bit sideways. So let's be patient because there's other data here too. I don't know if I saved it. I got it here somewhere, I'm sure. I don't know. We'll see. Let's actually come back right over here. I'm going to go to bookmarks. I know but this right here, Charles Hoskinson. This is what you all need to realize for the broader crypto market. To give you a sense of how big the upcoming bull market is for crypto, we just absorbed a downturn that was larger than the collapse of Luna or FTX and have already nearly recovered 710 billion in losses and 740,000 traders liquidated in 24 hours. So massive, massive shakeup to the market. And we look at the price action. And had I not told you about that shakeup, you would just look at this on, let's say, a 6-hour chart and realize, let me go ahead and delete this fib, and realize that the price action has just really been ranging sideways. Now, this does look a little bit like a distribution top, meaning the bulls made an attempt, bears brought it back. The bulls made another attempt, basically a double top. The bears brought it back. Currently, we're holding on to bullishness with this higher low right in here. If you want to do it from the candle bodies, then it would be like basically like this. Currently, we're holding on to this not being a double top. But if this breaks down and comes down and loses this $89,000 level, 89.5, which is this low right here, which would have been the low of this entire range. If we lose that, barring a very quick recovery, like a V-shaped recovery like this, then this very likely will have to do some work down here before it makes that move up. Now, remember, I'm a bull. I'm so bullish on Q1. I'm so bullish on what we're going in 2025 into 2026. But when we're looking at these charts and we're not looking at the 2-month, we're not looking at the monthly, we're not looking at the weekly or the 3-day, we're looking at the 6-hour chart. This is suggesting there is some cause for concern if you're expecting it to go up immediately. Shout out to Green Day Profits, 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We got 714 people in the room right now between Twitter and YouTube. Thank you everybody for being here. Make sure you engage with this. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe button, ding that bell. As silly as it all sounds, it really does help with the algorithm so we can keep doing what we're doing. And all you got to do, remember, right here, look below the video. Somehow 55-ish% of you that watch on a daily basis are not subscribed. Take a moment right now. Do it for me. Look right below the video. Make sure it says subscribed and hit that little all bell. And if you want to become a member here on the BitLab YouTube, it's about $1.25 a week. Hit that. You should see join there once it says subscribed. If you don't, just click more and you'll see right here, join to become a member of the BitLab community. In fact, I will share it in the live chat right now for the YouTube folks and homies. You have to be subscribed in order to join. But, we're doing these Jumpstart TA sessions and share other charts and other things in here and stuff as well. It's also a great way just to help keep us doing what we're doing. If you're watching on YouTube, I did not share the deal, but if you're watching on YouTube, X, just make sure you're, hitting a retweet, hitting the like button, showing some love, and of course, making sure you're giving me a follow right there. Now, coming back over to the data that we want to look at, massive shakeup. Previously, a shakeup like this ended up bringing into a market cycle bottom. Scary time, but proved to be the best time to buy. Now, is that going to be the case right now? I think this is my argument, and this is not financial advice. This is strategy advice. My argument And the way I'm looking at this market right now is because of the landscape moving forward with the number of major players that are coming into this market over the next many years. But the ball is just getting started right now with this golden age of crypto, is that any dip from where we're at right now is a buy. Now, all of us are like, but I've already bought with all my extra dry powder. Well, then that just means sit on your hands. If you're in very risky stuff, maybe, it's a lesson in having a diversified portfolio. But when we're coming in and we're looking at the different data and we realize Hong Kong also, remember China and Hong Kong legislator Kenny, I'm guessing Kenny New, says Hong Kong needs to accelerate the study of strategic Bitcoin reserves. We're seeing this story across the globe. It's on the radar of every I would say G100 country out there, meaning the top 100 countries and even beyond. And I'm talking about the size of their GDP. This is on the talking point of every major corporation and country out there. And people are worried right now. And then you see right here, I did have it saved. I just didn't know where it was. Then remember, this is just around the corner, February 18th. All those FTX funds that were locked up with people, billions of dollars, $16 billion to be, in fact, straight there, starting to get deployed on the 18th of this month. That is 13 days from now. Now, it's going to start with smaller depositors or smaller creditors, whatever it is. But this is a huge amount of money that's been on the sideline for crypto folks. And I'm sure these folks are excited that the market has pulled back some so that they're not getting in at runaway prices. But this is a nice flow of money coming in. And will all of it go back into crypto? No, but I would guess over 50% of it will, probably more than that, but let's be conservative. But just remember the landscape before you get scared when the market is shifting like it has been. And it's not just up only. Some people are calling a top here. Is it over? The thumbnail of today's stream. Bitcoin set to crash. Altcoin season canceled. Well, then I look at this chart. What do we see? Each time, and I've shared this before, each time this has come down, and when this clips to turn back towards the zero line, I have to sneeze on. This is marked after the foundation of the bull market has started, right? We had the bottom, we had some accumulation here, and then we started to get a move up with a little bit of sideways action, boom. And this right here, when this turned, that was boom, that was launch season. Same thing, moved back up. We had that little sell-off right in here. Remember this cycle here, we had 11 sell-offs of 15% or more, 8 of them with 35% or more, to the downside. And this price still was rocketing. But on this move right here, where this eclipse to roll back over positive, that was a true start of the run. What do we see here? Same thing, true start of the run. What do we see here? We're starting to see the same signs and signals. In the moments where the best opportunities happen, sometimes are the hardest to identify because usually it's because we're over allocated. We need it to go up because we probably put in a little too much more than we could really afford, or it puts stress on us but if it goes down further, then some people, it's like, how are you going to pay your rent? Why do you have your rent money in the market? Don't do that. I know this market's exciting, but don't take on more risk that then you make stupid decisions because the risk heightens your emotions in the market. So when we're seeing signs and signals and the framework and everything lining up, right now, could we have a little bit more downside? Sure. But we take advantage of the dips when you are in strong bullish trends. And then we continue on and we see, here's kind of the question from our boy Kellam Franzen. The US dollar chart might be the most important one in the game right now. And this is getting shaken up because of the tariffs, no tariffs. What's going on? What's going on with Gaza? What's going on with Israel? What's going on with Ukraine? What's going on? Strength of dollar, weakness dollar, the 10-year, all the nonsense. Okay, throw all that away. Just know that when the dollar gets stronger, AKA the dollar goes up, it tends to put pressure on risk markets. If the dollar reverses and starts coming down, that will be incredible for risk markets. So what we're seeing right now is, yes, it broke out to the upside. Yes, it's retesting the breakout zone, comes back to the breakout zone. Yes, it's valid potential support. Why? Because we see rejection here, support here, rejection, rejection, rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, support here. So we know this is a clear zone. Now this is broken out. It's come down and retested, but currently this is a very confusing chart because everybody's going to see it with what their bias wants it to do. This has broken out of this trend and retested. However, the retest here had a bullish attempt that came up and got rejected with the lower high. So this literally right now looks like a 50-50 chart. In fact, I would say it leans more bearish for the strength of the dollar. A bearish structure for strength of the dollar is bullish for Bitcoin and all your risk assets. This kind of looks a little bit like a head and shoulders, a little shoulder here, a little head here, a little shoulder there, or you can just kind of look at this shoulder, head, shoulder, whatever, but just lower high. If this loses this and starts breaking down, then we're going to see some fireworks in the market. Now, the reason why this is important is one of the things that Trump wants to do is, get trade very strong. Strengthen what's going on with our imports and exports. We're kind of put some pressure using, Trump's negotiating tactics, whether you like it or not, regarding tariffs. But then that brought Mexico and Canada to the table. And, for what they essentially strengthening border security on both directions and also pausing some of the stuff. So I think the tariff was more of the negotiation tactic that a lot of this stuff is going to, we saw this huge rise in the dollar through all that. But I think a lot of that is just the posturing that brings people to the table that then eventually is going to be changed because otherwise, if the dollar gets stronger and stronger and stronger, it really hurts our trade and also other countries' ability to service their debt to us. So contrary to what most people believe, Trump would actually want the strength of the dollar to come down over time to strengthen what we're going to be doing in trade deals moving forward. Now, you get the setup here. It sets up the framework, especially some of the longer term deals, and then you drop the dollar and it benefits the economy in a tremendous way, especially with the investment world. So what we're seeing here, I think, is all just a shell game. So, moving the chairs on the ship around, reshuffling things because this new administration is changing so much. And again, whether you like Trump or not, I'm not making it about that. We're looking at the market. We want to know how what's going on in the market is going to be impacted by decisions by the administration. Now, the administration, I think, is doing stuff that is causing some trouble to what's going on in the market in the immediate term. But then here's just a wild speculation. I heard somebody say, what if they're just trying to put pressure on the markets that then gives more incentive for the Fed to actually do the rate cuts? Because Trump can't make them do a rate cut. So if he does cause pressure in the markets and we get some sell-off, oh my God, it's so bad. For those of us that are ready, you, me, BitLab family, Discover family, Blockchain Basement family, we could take advantage of those or just go on vacation for 2 or 3 months. I still think we're going to have a phenomenal quarter. And even if this quarter is delayed into quarter 2, by summertime, I think the prices are going to be much higher. It's very hard to predict on the exact time frame because there's so much in the news cycle right now that's kind of like, well, here's the TA setup. Okay, news cycle, boom, screw your TA, boom. This is why you need to remain adaptable right now. But we got some more things to look at, so let's get into it. Retail investors don't seem eager to buy Bitcoin. Why? The number of addresses holding 0 to 1 Bitcoin continues to decline. The weak hands are selling in the moment that this is when the smart money's buying. I do not want to do the same dumb shit that I've done before and use the same mentality that made me broke in my past. I make money now. I'm doing better now because I still hear that voice. And then my experience has said, oh, if that voice is talking to you, it's actually signal to this side, dumb money signal to this side. Oh, this is probably a good opportunity zone. Now, sometimes that means you have to adjust your time horizon. You need to be patient just a little bit longer. But look at Warren Buffett. Look at Michael Saylor. Look at Jeff Bezos. Look at people that have been in this market for a few cycles. It's never as fast as you think, and it's always similar but different than the exact thing you want. You need to remain adaptable because dumb money is declining. Okay, this is the metric here. Dumb money is selling out. Well, you know, at the same time, what do we see? Well, whale accumulation addresses just received over 30,000 Bitcoin. Dumb money selling, smart money buying. Dumb money selling right now, smart money buying. What are you doing about it? What's your plan? Are you frustrated? Fine, be frustrated. But your frustration and your emotion shouldn't change your strategy. In fact, we have more data in the crypto market than we've ever had in an investment market. And you get it basically nearly real time. With Bitcoin, it's delayed about every 10 minutes. Oh my God. You know, a 10-minute delay on getting data on Bitcoin is a light speed different from waiting quarterly for earnings reports for stocks. Okay. We can see what addresses, what size addresses, meaning a wallet with 1 Bitcoin, a wallet with 10,000 Bitcoin. Okay, these coins have been held 6 months. These coins have been held 3 days. These coins have been held 10 years. We can see all that broken down in all the different on-chain charts that we, when we're doing data analysis in these markets. And when you see dumb money was selling, I think I already closed that chart, but the dumb money, the small amount, very small retail is declining right now. It's too frustrating. 100% move since September. It's just not fast enough for me. Let's do it again. 100% move since September. It's just not fast enough for me. I need to sell. Why is this market? This market is a scam. And then you come over here and you look at the data and you see, I mean, guys, then you come over here and look at the data and you see the whale accumulation addresses receiving 30,000 Bitcoin. Dumb money, retail money is selling in the moment. That is the best opportunity before those large moves to the upside. So let's stop being impatient, everybody. We can do this together. Let's do this together, okay? Now, coming back over to the charts, what else we got? We got some things we got to look at. We're going to get into some TA here in a second. Then everybody's asking about altcoins. Well, this is known as a gravestone doji. Bitcoin dominance gravestone. Now, the question is going to be here, will this have stronger move to the upside? It's kind of a contention because there's so much corporate and big money focus on Bitcoin. This does indicate a potential top formed here, and this could be rolling over. Okay. 2 days ago, Bitcoin dominance printed a highly bearish candlestick on the daily. Rarely have I seen a gravestone doji of this magnitude on Bitcoin dominance. Now, this means the Bitcoin dominance rose this much in a day and then came right back down. So the bulls took it this far up and the bears brought it this much far down. So if this does continue to roll over, this could be the start of some of those moves in the altcoin market. But there's a lot of contention right now. So I wouldn't say to count on it. This could be a leading sign something could be coming, but we've got a lot of work to do in the altcoin market to really restore that. And then you see this. XRP also, had a 64-minute network outage. So there's that as well. But I think the price is holding up fine on it. Was there anything else here? VanEck releases American Crypto Index MAGA 10 with XRP, Solana, Link, AVAX, XLM, SUI, Uniswap, Near, Aptos, and Filecoin. Interesting, picks there. I think all within the US coins. But when we come over here and we realize, I mean, look at this daily. Look at that sell-off on XRP 2 days ago. Boom, 40%, nearly 40% sell-off, 35%. Bulls ate it back up. But if the market generally takes a bigger spill to the downside, where's dominance? If the market, that's futures. Hold on. Where is dominance? Here we go. This is that gravestone doji. Bulls brought back down, signaling that momentum wasn't real momentum. This likely will roll back over. But the problem with this is it gives mixed signals. Because yes, we kind of have a higher high here from here. However, the candle bodies don't go anywhere near that. Let me actually see something here. Hold on a second. I just wanted to see. All right, look at that. Touch, touch, touch. And that's exactly where it went to, but kind of on that same trajectory. But if this is able to be held at bay and kind of roll over, come back down, then maybe, I do like the fact that it's kind of a double top here. It's just, there's mixed signals. The point being is here, if anybody's telling you this is what's going to happen, look the other way. because the only thing that we can talk about right now is in the midterm, like basically this month, looking here at the daily, the 12-hour, 6-hour, 4-hour, there's TA signals that have been printing, and we've been nailing the calls here, nailing them. But there's also a lot of noise that's being just pumped into the chart and confusion from risk shakeups from the news media over the last 2-3 weeks, especially with the new administration and the excitement and all this. But when we come back into the chart and we see, Ethereum just had that massive sell-off, holy moly, all the way down to the 2150 mark. Remember, we also saw that this is a bit of a bear flag that would target down to $1,800. Now, do I think it's going to go $1,800? No, but I also didn't expect to see that big ass washout that we saw the other day that went, I mean, that was a massive washout in the markets. And the fact that Bitcoin's holding up still where it is amazing. My point being is this is a target, but I'm not holding out for an $1,800 Ethereum. I feel this feels more manipulated than it is the health of the market. We're going down to correct. Now, the fact of the matter is people are getting more and more exhausted with this. So you start getting people capitulating on a time basis. They're exhausted with the timeline and the repetition of these frustrating moves, trapping both directions. So that's the other component that we're paying attention to here. But when we're looking at this, I mean, let's go to the daily. When we're looking at this, we just, flipped bearish on the money flow, right? Make this go like this. See how it's pink? The VWAP's negative, but it's trying to angle up, but it's flat. Stochastic's flat. RSI. Everybody's kind of waiting on, all right, give us something with a timeline. Everything right now is like, even with the conversation yesterday with David Sachs, it's like, it was just them presenting, yeah, we actually have the council. We're actually talking, and we're going to get something done in like 100 days. Now, I honestly believe they are going to be getting things done within that timeline. But people want it now, and because it's not happening, they're losing faith, and there's lack of bullish momentum in the market because of that. And ETH the Bitcoin, I mean, look at that big ass. I mean, that's just on the Bitcoin pairing chart. That's a almost 20% drop, 17.8% drop. Man, it might be time to be picking up some Ethereum, guys. Now, why is that? Because the FUD is so bad. But we're seeing that some of the major players in the market, like World Liberty Finance, like Trump, like Eric Trump, like other players, the Ethereum ETF with BlackRock, and we are seeing some sort of big money buying, especially with people that are adjacent to people in power. And we got a lot of stuff coming in with banks and DeFi and their ability to utilize these products. And the majority. Guys, the majority of the RWA ecosystem is on Ethereum. I think the FUD stories, I think they may be a little bit too, I think they're serving their purpose, and people are like worried about Ethereum. I think Ethereum's going to run, and when it does, the rest of the market's going to, the altcoin market's going to do well as well. Remember, we outlined this on Solana. It did exactly, went a little bit deeper, but it went exactly to what we thought. Remember, we drew this when the price was over here, and it did boom a little bit faster. But now if Solana loses this level, because this looks like kind of like you like bounce, bounce, bounce. Is it going to come down here to 165? Now, rather than be mad at that, it's a possibility. That's how you look at the market. You say it's a possibility. If this is a possibility, and I'm bullish on where Solana's going in this cycle, then great opportunity to layer in some there. We also see not only is that the golden pocket, but look at all this interaction. Look at all these rejections. Look at this bounce. Look at all this chop right in here. Look at all these bounces. I mean, it's like there's clearly a lot of price interactivity at this level. Now, if that price is lost, then what do? We go to the next level down, which would roughly be, I'd front run that a little bit, down here at the 131 level. You think it can't happen? I'm not saying it will, but we've seen pretty wild things in these markets, and they happen very quickly when they do. Now, what I'd prefer to have happen, and I think all of us would have, because it's so much better, so much more exciting, if this does find some support somewhere in this region, right? And then we get some positive movement into that FTX distributions on the 18th. And so on and so forth. Maybe some further indication a state starts buying, because they actually get through all their strategic Bitcoin reserve. But I'm still stacking, guys. Link, I mean, I'm actually happy about this because this is looking fairly weak here. If this does lose this level, boom. If this comes down here and loses 18 and comes down into this zone, I'm going to be backing up the truck to buy some down here in this $16 region right down in here. It might sound frustrating, but if we're so bullish on it, then we should welcome the ability to get at a discounted price. Because look at all this bearishness on the BitLab trading stack. Quick look at just all the signals that are here. Just tells you which ones are bullish, which ones are bearish. Bearish, bearish, neutral, bearish, bearish, bearish. Now, if this is able to hold within here, great. And then I would be waiting for a break out of this, a retest, and finding support in and the continuation move, if that were to come. But ONDO, we've got the ONDO Summit starting tomorrow. Had the big sell-off, came right back into the zone. It's chopping, trying to be there. But do remember, as excited as I am on ONDO, this could go one of two ways tomorrow. And this is in the very near term, not in the long term. I'm very bullish on ONDO over this next year and a half. But there's a lot of hype that supports price and pushes price up into a big news event like this, their ONDO Summit. Now, I do believe it's 2 days, it might be 3 days. And depending on what the expectation is about what they announce, or if what they announce is just this thing's happening in the future, it might be a sell the news event. In which case, don't be mad. In which case, if that happens and we get a sell the news event, you might be able to come down and pick it back up here to $9, $8. If it loses that, because this looks pretty damn ugly. If this comes down to this level and loses that, then I'd be looking right here. That's just below. Where's my mouse? Yeah, let's see, about 87 cents. And we got the levels from previously with down in here, but that's if we get the sell the news event. But I have a feeling, that we're going to be getting a pretty surprisingly big move, of explosive move that's going to shake the market up. And I don't mean like with the one we just had. I think we're getting to the point of exhaustion in the cycle, with retail not buying, with big money kind of layering in the background, with, World Liberty Fi getting 86, doubling their ETH exposure. Michael Saylor, they have a call today that there's going to be some fireworks around that, depending on what they say, what they do. I think by the end of February, I think there's going to be the start of that explosive move. Now, is it going to happen between now and the next week or two? I think people are exhausted, but that also sometimes is the moment in which the market really does erupt. But let's look at some other coins. Sui looks just like we just saw ONDO. Look at that. I mean, we got the move down, a little chop right in here. Sui move down, chop right in here. Now this is a little bit different structure because this was just rolling over. This probably would look more like Arrow. Yeah, it's just kind of Sui. Big wick down here to $2.40. And we are up here at 536. If you're bullish on Sui back here at 536, how the hell will you be mad at being able to buy it at a 55% discount? When you change the way you have the conversation, the language in your head around it, then you realize, okay, maybe you made a silly decision here. Maybe you made the silly decision in an uptrend where it's a rising channel, as bullish as you are. Rising channels, remember, these tend to break bearish. And then on this support here, now we got the momentum starting to roll over here. And then right here, this would be the stupidest place to buy right here. Now you could be mad when the price went down to here, or you could say, oh my God, I have the opportunity to spend half as much and get the same amount, or spend the same amount and get twice as much down here. Lower your average entry. So what we're seeing in the market right now is just, guys, look at this bear flag on Cardano. People don't want to hear this. Bear flag. We'll do it conservatively rather than all the way to the wick. Bear flag there. Boom. You measure that out. That suggests we could be getting Cardano at 43 cents. Do I think it's going to happen? If the market continues to melt off the positivity and the positive sentiment, I mean, it feels like we're in a bear market right now, and the price is hovering around $100,000 on Bitcoin, and people are just mad the alts aren't running. Now, if this is able to hold in this zone, and this kind of feels like an important zone, the 75 cent zone, if this comes down and loses this, I think 40, 42 to 45 cents is definitely in the cards because this looks weak as it could be. Head and shoulders doesn't quite pan out, but then double top. Now it did pan out coming to the downside. Now, if this is able to find support in here, what we really want to see on, what we really want to see on Cardano right now, stretch this out like this. We got rejection, rejections, rejection. We want to see this break not only above this, but this is a zone right here. We really need to get Cardano above 96, 98 cents before we can be bullish, because anything that happens between now and then, even if this, oh my God, even if it moves up, this isn't quite bullish yet because this is not breaking past these previous lows. You want to see this. You want to see it get rejected, have to see where the bulls come in, push up, boom, boom. And that's when you start to really turn your sentiment around. AVAX, also, look at that. Same thing we just saw on Cardano. We're just seeing the frustration that comes in the market. And I mark my words. If you're frustrated, pinch yourself because you're human. It's okay. Shit, I'm frustrated. I was like, but that's okay. Then nobody ever perfects that voice in your head. You have the voice and then you learn how to, I don't want to say dismiss. You learn from that voice because that's the retail voice in your head and the smart money. Use them both to inform. You just have to be able to identify which voice is which in your head so that you can make decisions that will benefit you over time rather than keep trapping you in your emotions. But did he check out AVAX already? I did. Big love to you guys. I appreciate you all so much. I think some exciting things. I'm stacking. I'm waiting right now for. I got a big contract invoice thing for some media stuff I did over with the Mario channel, and I'm just waiting on it. And I was frustrated. 3 days ago because that big dip and I couldn't buy. And then when the price started going back up, I was like, now it's going to run away. But now the prices are coming back down. Don't be frustrated when money comes in, when money comes out, when you can DCA, when you can't. Figure out what your plan is. Understand that if you missed the move on one asset, another move will be presenting in the near future, if not already, on another asset. Be adaptable. The framework for what we have moving forward is frustrating in this moment because it's supposed to be. They're shaking off everybody that doesn't deserve the profits in the long term. This is what market chop is. And then once it's released, then magic will be in the air. But I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. We're going to head over to Blockchain Basement now. I'm going to go down. I'm going to actually go down there in about 15 minutes. I'll be on that show with them as well. But I love you guys. Everybody hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell. Thank you to the channel members. Thank you to Charles for the super chat. Thank you to Green Day Profits for the member gifts. I really do appreciate you guys. I really do. Just this community that we have together. Anytime you guys do super chat or you become a member, you're a member over at BitLab, it really does help keep the lights on because there's a lot that goes into everything that we're doing. And more than anything, even if all you do is watch and you hit that like button, I appreciate you. I love you guys. That's all I got. Adios, muchachos.